Welcome to Hello and welcome to the Black Hand Communique. I'm Ryan O'Dowd. Today's episode is called Election SLEAZE-IN. It is January of a fourth year, and you know what that means. America's presidential election season is in full swing. That means more bullshit, more lies, more nonsense, more broken promises, and more image control than a daytime soap opera. Today I have resident anarchon Joe Kopsick with me to talk about America's image-based politics. Say hi, Joe.
Hi.
There he is.
Okay.
There he is. Say hi.
Hi.
Okay. Now today we're going to do something a little different. By the way, I apologize, I have a cold. Now today we're going to do something a little different. Instead of talking about the news, Joe and I are going to do a simulation for you. We're going to play a mock-up debate that goes through the issues one by one that are facing this nation and demonstrate by acting how our politicians are just so good at speaking while saying nothing at all. This means Joe and I will be playing politicians and we're disgusted about it, but we do it for the folks at home. With that, we will begin Black Hand Communique, Election SLEAZE-IN mock debate. Now, I'm going to play the moderator when I have my glasses on. When the glasses are off, I'm playing the politician. That's how it's going to work. So, issue number one, the environment. What is your approach to the problems facing our environmental problems in America, and how would you solve them? Joe, you're first.
Well, I think the first problem is that we just have too many environments. My platform, running on a platform of get rid of it, and that's how I feel about the EPA, the employment. Forget what Marco Rubio called it, the Employment Prevention Agency. That's what it was. So, got to get rid of that, and then we can bring jobs back to the economy and drill baby drill and all that good stuff. Baby seals, get rid of it. Endangered wolves, get rid of it. Pretty much the air and water, privatize it and then get rid of it. I think there's just too many environments, and we all need to just get inside our buildings and have our recirculated air and just basically all die. Just get rid of it. Life itself, get rid of it. But how do you feel about the environment? What's your position on that?
Well, first of all, I'd like to start by thanking you as my candidate. Joe is a good man. That is a guy who likes to do things that are often going to have things happen that we want to be that way. And for that, I thank you, Joe. But I must respectfully not completely agree with what you say by saying I like to say yes to the environment. I am in favor of the EPA. I like wolves and kittens, but not only that, I also enjoy the animals other people don't like vultures and scorpions and mosquitoes. Those, I believe, should be receiving subsidies from the business class to increase their size so that our country can say yes to the environment and grow the mosquito base so that we can re-become the nation of environmentalists we never knew we weren't in the first place.
That sounds all very well and good. I think if you're going to have a just say yes approach to all these things, I think you need to just say yes on getting rid of the environment. You may think that that we need more environments, and I would say we have too many and get rid of them. And I would say yes on, to respectfully disagree with you. I agree with your just say yes approach, but a lot of things we could say yes on, including saying yes on saying no to. And I would add that you were saying yes to the environment before you were against being for being against the environment. So,
Well, with all due respect, I would say that is not the opposite of a cheap shot that you didn't not tell me just now. And for that reason, I would say that the environments need to be expanded into more environments. Right now, Earth is unfortunately lacking in many environments that are desirable. And our great nation must build up this new global network of environments so that we can say yes to environments of environments, even if my opponent disagrees. And with that, we're going to move to the next issue.
I would just like to add as a brief closing point, a brief beginning, closing, ending statement point, that I do not believe that the environment change theories are a hoax, and that is to say I do, and that also I think we need to do something about global Morgan and Morgan Freeman so that we can deal with global warming and be Morgan Freeman. Penguins.
And I like being Freeman as well. And with that, we'll move on to the next issue. This healthcare. Healthcare costs are spiraling out of control. How would you face this crisis? We'll start with Ryan. Healthcare is good. Yes, I say to it. It combines both care and health. And when you have both the caring of a person and a healthy care for the way they care for their health, then we must defend it at any cost. In America, we have doctors. Doctors are good. They care for health. But we also have patients. Patients in time for our doctors to care, but also patients to be cared for in terms of health by our healthcare doctors. For that reason, we need to uplift our patients, say yes to them, yes to the doctors, yes to a single payer system, yes to insurance companies, yes to privatized healthcare, and yes to healthcare. My position on healthcare is that I care about the healthcare regarding the care of the health for caring for people. Your points now, Joe.
Before I begin, I'd just like to thank the debate sponsors, MSNBC, BABCBS, for their gracious time supporting this debate. And while my opponent may have a positive tone on this issue regarding healthcare in general, I think we should get rid of it. If you look at the Department of Health and Human Services, I think we should get rid of that. I mean, departments, nobody likes those. You got to get rid of it. Health, Department of Health and Human Services, health, get rid of it. You got to get rid of the health. Services, no one likes that. You got too much service economy. You need to make it not a service economy anymore. Get rid of the services. And lastly, humans, the H of the two H's and the HHS. We got to get rid of the humans, kill all humans. And also, I just want to say, who really needs public involvement in healthcare? Who needs healthcare when you can just, get on the Infowars.com page and refer 2 new users and get an account and get 15% off and buy the blue liquids and get the hexylchloroisothiazole propilenone and get the cancers right out of your body. It's good for you. You don't need healthcare. Obama.
I'm going to say that I have to mildly not agree with you on the nature of services. Services are good. People like service. They like to be served and they enjoy serving. When it comes to the care of their health, there is nothing that they feel people should care more about serving than their health care. Services, caring for health. America, just say yes.
I think we should, of course, get rid of it, except for when it comes to healthcare workers for healthcare workers, healthcare for healthcare workers themselves. I think it's good to have healthcare workers operate on themselves and, clean up. You got to have well-paid janitorial staff in these public hospitals or non-public hospitals, whatever I said back there. We'll get someone to check on that. You can read my book, available at joekopsick.com. It is $9.99. And, got to make sure those healthcare workers operate on themselves. But as for the rest of you, just get rid of it. Leave you all to your own devices. Freedom.
I've just been informed that I actually feel differently than I said I did. I also am for healthcare workers. It's come to my attention recently that healthcare workers care deeply about healthcare for healthcare workers. And I would like to say that they should be able to extend them services to themselves in regards to the way they care of their health. Just say yes. And with that, we will move to the next issue. Oh, I need to get my moderator glasses on. All right, issue number 3. Unions. Americans across the country are unionizing fast food places and calling for a $15 minimum wage. What are your thoughts on unions in 2016 America, Joe?
Get rid of it. I think we should empower unions to sue other unions out of business, and empower unions to abolish themselves and sue themselves out of business. We should abolish them. We should empower them to vote in order to vote themselves out of existence. And in general, we have to get rid of it. Get rid of the government workers, get rid of the Department of Labor, get rid of labor itself. I actually do agree with that. The only thing I've come up with that someone didn't tell me to support is that, yeah, we need to get rid of the jobs, get rid of the economy, and get rid of work.
Yes. Yes is what I say to that. I also feel we should getting rid of unions, which I think is what my opponent was trying to say. Nations like America are built by the strength and unity of a united people made of unions that have unity in the United States. It's the states that are united, not divided. We need freedom to unite. We need the freedom to ask the government to make us be together so that we can stand up against ourselves if we want, or unite for what I think we all want, what the government tells us. Unions, people. We must unite as one, as many unions of one that are united. If we do not unite, how will we have unions? We must have unions that are united. In the United States, yes, just say yes.
I agree with that, while also being against it somehow. I think if you ask me, we need to get rid of ask me. So, just get rid of that. And I would concede my opponent's point that it was the Union States of America that the National Union did win the Civil War. So I'll at least speak for that before and after I was against it, depending on what the focus groups say.
Well, it's always nice to hear sound reasoning from an opponent. Yes. Finally, nope. See, I didn't know because I didn't have my moderator glasses on. Issue number 4. The fourth issue that we will be discussing is the economy. Now, I have read that 87% of Americans polled have called America's economy a shambles of patchstick, non-work, quilted onto a foundation of brutal, workless lives. How would you help the economy? Ryan, you go first. Listen, America needs to get back to work. Not that we weren't working. We've always worked. But we need to get back to what we've always done and never stopped, which is working. The economy is all about working. It's about mixing economics, which is something where you learn how to take an egg to school and take care of it all day and bake a cake, and mixing it with making it work for the working man. The economy is a thing that people work in. You can't have working economies without economies that work. It's the scale, the economy of scale creates the work for people. And that's why we say yes to the economy. My administration would be a yes economy based on positivity that would encourage people to do work that is positive and encouraging work to build an economy on. If you want a good economy, look no further than me, because the economy is good and has always been good, because work is good and a good economy comes from good work. Yes. Joe, your thoughts?
Thoughts on the economy. I think we should have, it is an important part of the economy to have a strong economy and have a sound econ money. One sec. All right, I've just been informed that my position on this is that, well, regarding the economy, we should get rid of it, A. B, we should get rid of the Obamany, get rid of the Romney, get rid of the Economany, get rid of the Department of the Economy, get rid of the money. We should basically just do some shit and, you know, get business done and get it in there and get it out and get the jobs moving and get some tax reform by taxing the tax itself and turning non-commerce into commerce with our magical judiciary system, and then putting subsidiaries of subsidies onto the tax, which is taxed upon the tax itself.
There's a lot of interesting ideas in there, and I say yes to all of them, but I also say yes to saying no to all of them. Because if we're going to build an economy on true positivity, then we not only have to say yes to what we say yes to, we also have to say yes to what we say no to. I'm a uniter, not a divider. The economy is all of our work, not just some of it. There's some economies that are some work, and those economies are good. Our economy is also good. And I'd like to touch on something that my opponent mentioned, the Department of Economies. Now, he suggested we should do away with it. Now, I agree in reverse to that, because I feel rather than doing away with the economy department, we need to add a department of departments to regulate the Department of the Economy, to regulate the economy. If we don't have more departments, which means more work, people have to work in those departments. Get them work. That's the economy. Yes. Positivity. Just say yes. Departments, work, economy. Yes.
And I just like to agree with what my opponent said about economies of scale. I do appreciate that the economy has scale, much like the scales of the snaky lizards, which run our Illuminati economy. And I also just like to say, as my final point, although I haven't come out with my official position on this yet, I think it's a little premature, but I have stated my position on this in my book multiple times. You can look it up. You can't spell economy without no. Get rid of it.
This truly is a lively debate. The next issue, number 5, abortion. Abortion is always a contentious issue. What is your stance, Joe?
Well, my position on abortion is that we should get rid of it. Most importantly, by not getting rid of it, which is to say that we should, when it comes to the baby, we should definitely get rid of it. So I am against, well, simultaneously also for getting rid of abortion and getting rid of babies. Maybe they'll cancel each other out. We could get some kind of fetus baby abortion fighting ring going. You know, it's all legitimate as long as we tax it and legislate it properly and apply for the proper permits. Which brings me to my last point about abortion. Eat what you kill. All these babies, they're going to waste. They need to be put into Pepsi products and distributed throughout the red state community. Get rid of it.
I see. If it wasn't for my positive message, I would be forced to concede that my opponent has said some rather disturbing things. But I know that's not the case because this is America. In America, everything's good. Babies are good. Women's rights are good. Abortion is good. Religion is good. Government regulation of abortion is good. Religious rights are good. Contraceptives are good. Planned Parenthood is good. Killing abortion doctors is good. This is a positive nation where we do what we believe in. And no matter what, it's going to stay just the way it is. Yes, good.
I'd just like to ask a clarifying question, if I may. Remind us, my opponent, what is your position on little baby smiles and flowers?
Little baby smiles and flowers are good. I approve of little baby smiles and flowers. I would even go so far as to say that I approve of a picture where you photoshopped a baby smile onto a flower. Yes, just say yes. And you?
I'd like to do my opponent by saying that we should make that the new American flag.
We're really bringing people together today. All right. Finally, we get to our last issue of the debate. Immigration. How would you handle our nation's immigrant crisis, Joe?
Get rid of it. Not get rid of immigration, but maybe get rid of immigration, if that's what the polls say. But get rid of the immigrant crisis. We've got too many crises in this country. The immigration crisis, the ISIS crisis, all kinds of crises. We just got to get rid of them. We're gonna do it. We're America. That's what made America great. Dealing with crises, whatever they tell me to say, is we got to do it. We got to deal with these crises. We got to do it. We're gonna do it, and we're good. That's how we're gonna do it. I got a guy for that. I got a guy.
I agree with my opponent completely. But I don't like his negative tone of getting rid of it. I would say yes to solving the problem. Yes to immigrants. Yes to brave people crossing borders. Yes to the need to address this problem. Yes to giving everyone that needs it the care they want. Yes to empowering our border patrol. Yes to building a wall. Yes to taking in everyone that we can. Yes to taking in refugees. Yes to deporting all illegal immigrants. This is America. When we see a crisis, we don't get rid of it. We make it happen. Yes to the immigration crisis, and yes to America. God bless America.
Well, while that rhetoric may sound all well and good, I have to say my opponent has a flippant position on the immigration crisis. And I have to disagree with him on one point. We are not America. We are Pakistan. And that is why we have these Mexicans coming over the border. When President Eisenhower dealt with the immigration crisis in Operation Setback by throwing 20 million Mexican immigrants set back over the border, he solved this crisis once and for all, and that is why we're still dealing with it.
That concludes the issues portion of the debate. Lastly, we will allow both candidates a couple minutes to give their closing statements. We'll start with you, Joe.
Once again, my name is Joe Kopsick. I'm running as the absurdist candidate, as an independent write-in candidate for Illinois' 10th congressional district. And I'm running on a platform of get rid of it. Having anything that you put into practice and enforce and administer that you don't get rid of, or somehow go back in time to prevent from ever happening, which is why I support the Terminator for president. It is basically just impossible to do anything. It's an absurd notion that that any life itself, much less any of this legislation, can ever have any meaning. And that is why we as people must do the things that we've always done, and that is how we've always solved this problem. And that's why I think I should support me for my money.
Once again, I'm Ryan O'Dowd, and I'm running on the Yes Party platform. America is a place of many Americas. There are Americas where people shine. There are Americas where people play baseball. America is all of these places, even saxophone players, together as one, unless they don't want to be, in which case they unite in order to be separate. America is a place where we do things, that things get done that weren't done, or they were and we're doing them again. It's a yes place where things that have never not been wrong are not unrighted from the place of yesness they already are. For that reason, I will pour my heart and soul into making literally every single person's personal vision for how this country ought to be happen, without contradicting one another, without sacrificing a single portion of anything that they desire. I will literally give everyone that votes for me $100,000 personally. I will get you to be the lead role in a Hollywood film. I will let you slap the athlete of your choice who you don't like. I will also get that athlete a Hall of Fame ring. And just because I am the man that I am, I will give everybody in America cake who wants it. I'll give cake to people who don't want it, who can choose to give it to someone else or trade it in for a Chuck E. Cheese $20 fun pass. I am America. You're America. There's lots of Americas. It's time to bring these Americas together in unity. I'm Ryan O'Dowd saying, just say yes and vote.
I'll do everything that Vernon wants, plus ponies.
All right. All right. All right, we're breaking character now. So, as you can see, the process is a bit ridiculous. Thanks again, Joe, for coming on. If you have anything to plug, please do.
www.aquarianagrarian.blogspot.com.
Excellent. My band, Bitter Ink, will be playing at the station on Sunday, this Sunday at 9 o'clock. It's a free show, the station in Charlotte, 9 o'clock. I'm Ryan O'Dowd of the Hand Communique saying, fuck the banks.